Alrighty, we are finally doing it. We are installing a 12-volt rooftop air conditioning unit. So excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I think finally we have a product that is going to meet the needs and what I've been really wanting to in a rooftop AC unit for one of the 4 transit connects. It's going to, as a matter of fact, be going on the van right behind me. And OutEquipPro is partnered up with us with this installation. We have their Summit 2, they call it right here. It is a air conditioning and heating unit, and then all the other parts that it came with that we'll cover just a little briefly. So right now the unit is actually upside down. You get a slightly better look at it right here. We'll take more to that later. And then what it came with, we have the installation guide, pretty well written installation guide, easy to follow with photos as well. We have the gaskets that it came with for waterproofing. It came with thick gauge wire. This is actually 6 gauge. It's going to be able to push that amperage that's required for it. A interior mounting bracket, the interior air circulation vents right here, pretty cool. A bezel as well, and then also a remote. Comes with everything else as well, hardware for installation. Like I mentioned, a good guide. And one of the main reasons why I've been really wanting to do a 12-volt unit like this is because, one, it runs on 12 volts. We could finally run it off of a lithium battery. And nowadays, with lithium so cheap, we could really put a much bigger battery. And we have been in a lot of these vans. We're running a 300 amp hour lithium battery on this one. And that's going to be able to run straight off of the 12-volt. Secondly, it's a really low profile, about, I'll get a measurement later, about 6 inches or so in thickness. So when it's going to be on the roof, it's really not going to be that noticeable. We'll even color match it towards the end of this video. And then the fact that it could do AC and heat, that is just awesome. Then you can really run completely off-grid using alternator charging, solar charging. So let's go ahead and jump up on the roof, get this quickly installed, and then run some tests to see what this baby can do. Okay, here we are on the roof. Found a really nice flat spot where the unit is going to be located. And then I already cut out the hole. In the owner's manual, which is actually really great written owner's manual, it will actually state that you can have a slightly smaller opening. However, you can actually use a already 14 by 14 inch opening that a regular ceiling roof fan would go into. So even if I already had an opening, I could take a fan out and install this. Since this is a new installation, I went with a slightly smaller one. It doesn't have to be as long, it's just a little bit more narrow. Same 14 inch width. I already cut the hole in the roof, painted the metal. I'm gonna peel back some tape here and then move on to the next part of the installation. Okay, the next part of the installation is they supply you with the foam to actually adhere to the roof. That's gonna be the supporting block between the unit and the metal, and then also some additional support blocks in the rear that's gonna hold the part of the unit in the back that's overhanging the hole. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this. As far as the electrical is going to go, I'm going to be I notched it out right here. I'm going to be routing it through this gasket to go into the main hole so that I don't have to add an additional hole, and also I don't have to take apart the unit. I think this is the best way to conceal the wiring and not add any additional holes into the roof. The rear support blocking do get installed over here as well, and I could take some measurements to figure out exactly where I want them. But I think I'm going to actually install them on the unit themselves and set they're exactly where I want them. And then I'm just going to bring the unit onto here with them already installed. Alrighty, hopping into the van actually before we drop the AC unit, and just to show you guys something here. In the owner's manual as well, it is recommended to add some additional supporting underneath the unit since it is maybe a little heavier than what your vehicle is used to supporting. I do this anyway in my builds, and I do it right where the fan is at typically. So in a similar fashion, you might have seen in my other videos, in some of our build videos, I use this PVC 1x2 board on end to fill in this gap, and then it completely flushes you out with the rails in the van, and then gives you an opportunity of 1.5 inches worth of insulation where you could do kill mat, reflectix. I also then add the 3M, the thin slate. So it's like really nice cavity here. So the AC unit on top, and then also in combination with the bracket here that they supply you with, that gets actually bolted all the way through in 4 corners. That's going to create a really strong sandwich that's going to hold that AC unit. It's very nice and sturdy against your roof. So now let's go up top and actually drop the AC unit into the hole and then start to plan out how we're going to route that electrical, those 2 6-gauge wires for your positive and negative, to our electrical system that is down here. So that'll be next as well. Gentle, Lucy, gentle, not too hard, okay? This thing is not that heavy, but got something to it. Hey, you don't mind jumping to that other side, do you? Is it heavy? You caught me. Yeah, it's kind of heavy. Try not to rub it in my face. Okay. So these obviously bolts are going in like in the corners, right? So as you drop this down, make sure it lines up into the hole.
Anyway, and the
Grab it. Can you grab it?
yeah,
You got it.
yeah.
Okay, we got the unit on top. Let's take a measurement to actually see how much we're actually sticking off the roof. If we're looking over here, yeah, we're looking at about 7 inches from the top of the roof. I'm really liking this a lot, especially once this is going to get color matched to the roof color. I think you might be able to walk past this vehicle and not even notice it's there. So I think this seems to just have some screws that I already took out, that this lid should be able to pop off, which is going to also make this serviceable. Alrighty. And there we have it. I'll be able to spray paint this, and this is actually fully serviceable from the top, which makes it really nice. Okay, let's take a quick break from the AC unit install and talk about what is going to be powering this thing. So like we mentioned at the beginning, it's going to run off of 12 volts. And of course, even in the manual, it says it's recommended to run off of a lithium battery. So we're going to actually be running it off of a 300 amp hour lithium battery right here. Dr. Prepare actually sent us some products to test out. And I got to say, I'm actually impressed, because at first I was like, I don't know, let's see what this is all about. And then I did some tests. I did my own capacity test. And out of a 300 amp hour battery, I was able to pull 330 amp hours, which is awesome. So definitely they are being pretty conservative with their measurements. It's actually really good for what you're getting. And one of the best prices on Amazon that I'm seeing right now, I went ahead and actually bought myself 4 more to put them in series and to have a 48 volt system for my house. So I'm really loving these batteries. They also sent me a 2000 watt inverter, which we're going to be putting into the camper. That's going to be running all of our other accessories, things that you want to plug into a regular household outlet. That's where the power is going to be coming from, through this right here. Comes with properly gauged wires. So many of these just don't come with the right size wires. They actually gave us some 2-aught wires, which is going to be able to handle that current. And it even has a remote display, which I really like, to be able to control this remotely. This 2000 watt inverter is also featuring a display on the device itself, ports directly on it, and then you can even hardwire it in, which I also really like. And for the power, it is actually a very compact unit. So looking at the 300 amp hour battery here, just to give you a sense of reference and size, this would be your typical cheap 100 amp hour lithium battery that you find on Amazon. And you can see right here, this one's pretty, it was just a lithium 100 amp hour battery. But then compare that to the size of this 300. For just a little bit bigger in size, you're getting 3 times the capacity. This one, as a matter of fact, I wanted to show the brand, didn't even pull full capacity. It pulled like 80 amp hours out of the 100 that they're advertising, whereas this pulled a lot more than what it's being advertised for. This has a 200 amp hour BMS, so it's going to be able to handle a lot of current and for quite a long time. At over 3000 watt hours of capacity, this is going to be able to power this AC unit, especially on sleep mode. I'm estimating over 24 hours. At the end of this video, we'll actually do a real life test to see how much current we're pulling on turbo mode or also sleep mode, which is going to be the most efficient mode. Coupling up with the battery and the AC unit, we're going to be using a 200 watt bifacial solar panel. So this one right here, I really like the fact that it's bifacial for one, so you get that extra efficiency out of it. It's very compact for its size as well, and we're able to keep it really nice and low profile to the roof. With the black, you won't even be able to tell it's there. So if you want links to these products, go ahead and check out the description below. We'll have links to all of these products and also the coupon codes that are going to give you some money off of your purchase. Okay, back inside of the van, we're going to continue with the installation, looking at the ceiling. One of the reasons why we're doing this early on in the van build is to be able to do plan out the ceiling here, also route the wiring as well. So for example, the wiring, it'll go through a hole and through the wall cavity all the way down to our electrical system here. And then for this bracket right now that is bolted into place, which I installed already, we'll actually be taking that down again to install our ceiling above it, and then that bracket is going to then just sandwich it all together. So next up right now, I'm actually going to install the interior control center so that actually I could run a few tests. We'll just give this a little test before we continue with the van build. So I have the control panel right here, comes with the vents as well, and then air intake and then the air out. There's a wiring harness right here, cut the zip tie, and there's a few connectors. And basically, they all can only go into one spot, so it's not really hard to mess this up. The company was very kind to also give me a few pointers, and one of them being the temperature sensor right here to make sure that it is right above the air intake so that I can get a good reading. And I might even hot glue this just a little bit so that it stays just right there. So now we can kind of shove up some of this wiring in here and then install the control unit. Okay, so obviously I did not install the bezel for this. It has that white trim piece, which we'll install that for the final installation. Again, I just want to test this out. One thing I'm also really liking about this is how low profile it is to our actual roof. Considering that we have micro camper vans here, we're dealing with a really low roof line, so every single inch matters. So the overall thickness here that we're adding is absolutely at most an inch. This control panel alone is maybe only barely 3/4 of an inch. So I'm really liking this so far. So I'm going to connect this really quickly just to a spare battery just to do some tests here. I want to just see how many amps we're pulling in all the different modes. Make sure that the heat and the cool is working, and just give it a quick run around and see what we got. So we have our positive and negative, and quite frankly, that's all it needs. This comes with an inline fuse already. I'm very likely going to be adding my own just so that I can shut it off separately, but it does already come with a fuse, which is great. Okay, let's see if we have power. I'm going to hit the power button. And it's on. Get some of these vents going. And we already have airflow. Looks like we're on cool setting. And we're set to 70 degrees. And just as I was about to say that I wish this thing had some built-in lights, I realized that on the remote, there's actually a light button. So it does have built-in lights. Looking at the remote, we have our temperature up and down, our mode buttons, our fan, and then that light right there. I am hearing that sleep mode is very efficient, so I'm excited to try that out. And then turbo mode is going to be what's going to really max out the capacity of this thing. Just turn the air all the way down to 63. Seems like that's the bottom. Just put the air all the way down to 63. Seems like that's the lowest it'll go, only because it's pretty cold in the shop today. So let's see what kind of amperage we're pulling right now. It started at about 10 amps and now we're almost up to 20 amps. It's slowly growing. We'll see how high this amperage goes. I figured that it's not going to be going up that much since it's not working that hard. Like I said, it's about 65, 70 degrees in the shop right now. On a warmer day, we'll definitely be testing out this capacity and seeing how many amps it's going to pull when it's really under some serious workload. Since it's a little cooler in the shop, I'm actually excited to try the heat mode and see what kind of heat we get out of this thing. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. We are pulling in 62. It is cooler in the shop today. And then coming out of the vent, 40, 42. So we are definitely cooling. It's working. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually switch modes now. And let's do a heat mode. So we got cooling, heat, and then a fan mode. So let's switch to heat mode. Turn up that temperature. Let's say it's really cold out. We'll set it to 80 degrees and see what it does. And on the display, we can see that it is now in heat mode and got 80 degrees. Okay, now in heat mode, since it's actually really having to make some heat, since the shop is a little cooler, we can really see it on the amperage. We're pulling almost 45 amps right now. Seems to be kind of stabilizing around there. I can already feel a little bit of warmth coming from the vents. We'll give it a couple minutes and see where we're at. So in heating mode, it looks like the amperage has stabilized around 45 amps or so. And multiply that by our voltage, we are at about 500 watts of heating. Now I'm noticing that the compressor is not running, so I don't think this is like the heat pump working in reverse. It seems like it is just resistive heat. So we're getting a good amount, you know, for 500 watts. You're not gonna be heating up crazy, but we do have 92 degrees coming out of those vents. So not what I was really hoping for to have a heat pump, but it still is going to work. Now, heating with electric is not really most ideal, so that's not going to be your best bet if you don't have shore power connection in this case. However, it still can totally work just fine. So stick around to see the final results of us testing this with the 300 amp hour battery in the sun, running the AC, and then with that solar to see if we can get net zero production. We'll see you on the next bit. A little quick sneak peek to part 2, where we're going to be having the final installation done, and then we'll be doing a capacity test with the battery and also looking at the app and seeing how that also runs the unit. And then straight from the app, I'm actually able to turn it on and off, set the temperature, control the fan speed, and then even have different voltage settings and even a timer. And even from here, I can control the lights. So just like that, turn those lights on. We'll see you on the next one.